Welcome to Life in Symbols Tarot. Today's reading is centered around the energy of the moon. And this is a Pisces card. It is also the card of planet Neptune, which rules ideals and intuition. Moon is all about emotions, and it is it rules the third eye chakra, which says that I see things beyond the two eyes. So this is a very strong card of intuition, and I just want to talk about the fears associated with the moon energy. So today's reading is for anyone who understands that they have underlying fears but might not have command on their fears. They might feel that currently, or at least for a significant time in their past and present, they have been feeling this blocked energy that comes from fear. So they might not feel confident enough to move forward, take on projects that they really want to work on. They might fear people leaving them. They might fear, being misjudged by others. Fears can manifest in many different forms. And most of the insecurities that we experience in life, our journey through life, shape how we see things, and fears sometimes dominate our perception, as a result of which it changes it changes our emotional psyche. And I would also say that it changes how we communicate with others. It changes how we communicate with ourselves. And fear blocks us from living an authentic life, which is, I think, the biggest loss. And fears are nothing but an idea in our brain, which is just our brain trying to safeguard itself based on the experiences from the past. And most often, these fears that we live with are unwarranted. They don't come true unless we keep feeding it with belief. So let's take a deep breath. Inhale with me and have a nice long exhale. Close your eyes. Connect with your third eye. Focus in between your eyebrows. And now let's seek guidance to understand our fears and ways to eliminate them. All right. What is the fear that's blocking the energy? What's the fear? What's the fear? What is this moon card trying to tell us? What's the fear? That's one too many. I'm just going to take the top card. That's the Queen of Cups. And I need one more, please. The Judgment. So this is whatever fears that you have in your mind have to do with your future, specifically, is what I'm getting. And these are, for the most part of your life, any fear that has actually come true has been your own creation. You've manifested those fears into reality because that's what you've constantly been thinking about. You've been giving those fears energy. You've been feeding those fears. Earlier during the shuffle, I saw the Judgment card and I saw the the Five of Wands, which is conflict. So you've been probably living in a space of attachment, unhealthy attachment with your own sense of security. You've been having conflict as a result of that, and your fear probably has led you into conflict with other people. And this is your own creation. You have the power to create the good and the bad. But the reason you're manifesting negative things out of these fears is because you do not have the Queen of Cups energy. You do not, because when this card fell out, it didn't fall out upright. It was not perfectly upright. So though I have kept it here, but the energy that I'm getting is you are not embodying the energy of the Queen. You do not have control on your emotions. And because of that, you're unable to listen to what the universe tells you. Yes, you are reaching out to the universe time and time again for guidance, for prayers. You understand. And your fears have probably made you more spiritual. And this could be true for just a few of you, not everybody. If you're not spiritual, this message is not for you. But I feel that the spirit has also been trying to communicate to you to get over your fear, to not think of it as real. So your biggest fear is that if, not living in the present, you're constantly looking outward into the future, and you want to be good. You want to be an individual who does good in the world. But you're scared. You're scared to be vulnerable. You're scared to live in the authenticity of your emotions. You're scared to speak the truth. Actually, I'm being told to use the different deck. Yeah, you're particularly scared when you're moving into different projects. New beginnings are exciting, but they also scare you. They bring that sense of uncertainty, and you want to be sure. So you're worried about the uncertainty. You're worried about how life's going to go. You're even worried if you have the support of your angels or not. But let me tell you, you do. You do. You do have a lot of support, and you have a lot of energy to create. So it's up to you what you create with that energy, with that power. Okay, no more messages for this for now. Where does this fear come from? Where does this come from? What happened in the past that made these fears so prominent? That control is, oh, wow, this one flew out. That's the Knight of Pentacles. It has to do with people you've met in the past. People, do you see that? The King of Pentacles, the reality checks, and the stars. So I believe this has a lot to do with the people you've met in your life, people you thought our King of Pentacles were actually the Knight of Pentacles. You were given a reality check. Your dreaminess was your innocence, your hopes didn't come true. That's where this fear comes from. So ask yourself, is when you're feeling a particular fear, does it have a lot to do with being left alone? You do not feel your power. You do not feel your own energy. You do not realize your own strength and power of creation. Now, I kind of like the Seven of Cups in reverse, honestly, because Seven of Cups upright is illusion, it's dreaminess, it's not being in touch with reality. But I believe that your experiences in life have revealed to you the truth on and on again about the people in your life. You hope for one thing, but you receive another altogether. And your experiences have kind of made you unsure of how life is going to go. You feel that you've been wronged in the past. People have not been kind to you. And so your biggest fears lie related to the people and the connections that you make in this life. I have the Page of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. See Knight of Pentacles again? That's the kind of people you've met. People who say a lot of good things but don't necessarily act. They're essentially a Knight of Pentacles disguised in the energy of a King of Pentacles. But you also have the Page of Wands, but you approach the connections with a Page of Wands energy. You bring that learner's mindset, that openness, that transparency about your communication. You open your heart, you communicate. And you approach all the relationships with a very positive energy, with a lot of hope. Does not necessarily come true though. How to overcome these fears. But you know what? Before that, I want to ask, what is this fear trying to tell us? What does this fear want to tell us? What does this fear want to tell us? Page of Wands again. Your reading is confirming itself. Your fear is trying to tell you that your abundance is in your control. It's how you see your life. It's how you approach life. Do you still have that learner's mindset? Do you embody your truth? Do you see the world objectively? Do you see people as they are? And are you in a position to communicate authentically, honestly, and call it out? Like, I believe you're being told to feel energetic about your projects, about your actions, to continue to be in that learner's mindset, because your abundance is in your hands. And it comes to you the moment you get into the King of Swords energy, which is living in authenticity, living in your truth, but also having mastery over your emotions, over how you communicate, over how you see things. Remove that veil that you put around your eyes when you're with people in connections, because your relationships bring you the most fear. And you're scared to speak the truth. You are scared to tell the other person how you're feeling. You are worried that they will either judge you or leave you or not be kind to you. You feel that your wealth, your abundance, your fulfillment, your prosperity comes from somebody else. But all you have to do is be in your own energy. Be in your own power. Be energetic. Be enthusiastic about the steps that you're going to take. Have that learner's mindset and be excited about what's to come next, because you don't have any immediate roadblocks. You have things working out for you. You have good things coming your way. And then how to overcome these fears, what to do to get into that King of Swords energy. The Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, Page of Wands, Page of Wands. Your cards are technically confirming themselves. You have new beginning in your hands, but you're constantly in this feeling of lack of surety, like you're scared. You're always defending yourself. You're confused in two options. You have the blindfold on. You don't want to see the truth as it is. You're not living in your truth, as a result of which you keep getting unhappy, painful endings. And those painful endings they prove your fear as true. They put you in that loop where you live the same fear over and over again. You manifest that fear in reality, and then the loop continues. You have to stop that. There's a new beginning, a new opportunity coming in for you that can take you forward, given you are ready to take the blindfold off and get out of the energy of the Two of Swords. What specific steps can we take to get out of the Two of Swords energy? Specifics. This one flew out. The Hanged Man. Spend some time in solitude with yourself. Try to open yourself up to new perspectives. Question your thoughts and your fears. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? And keep asking yourself until you get to the root cause. Question your fears. Question your limiting beliefs. Question your thoughts. Be in that Hanged Man energy. Take a pause from everything. You probably do not sit with your fears. You try to escape them. You feel the anxiety and then you run up to the person. You communicate ineffectively about your anxiety. The other person does not understand it. They either shut you off or, say things that make you shut yourself off from expressing yourself authentically. And if you are able to just sit with your thoughts, sit with your fears, see them in a different light, question them objectively, see the truth for what it is in yourself, in your relationships, and in other people, then you will get that new beginning that will put you on the path to prosperity, that will put you in the energy of the King of Swords. You will feel your power yet again, only if you're willing to spend the time hanging upside down. Spend some time in solitude. Spend some time reflecting. And you can journal, you can meditate, you can talk to counselors, experts who can help you process your emotions, process these fears. But you will need to do the work. You will need to sit still. You will need to embrace your thoughts, but not see them as the ultimate reality. See them as thoughts. See them as unwarranted fears. And then move forward. Take some action in baby steps. Anything else as a guidance? The Five of Cups. The Five of Cups energy is the energy of looking or feeling sad about things that didn't work out, but not realizing that everything is not lost. You didn't lose everything. But perhaps your focus is so much on the loss that you forget what you've gained. You forget what you still hold, your power, your resources. Yes, something is lost, but that's okay. That's okay. You spend too much time grieving. You spend too much time in sadness. Not enough in reflection, not enough in meditation, not enough in constructive processing of emotions. Also have the Four of Pentacles. There is improvement coming your way. You will feel more grounded. Nine of Pentacles. Peace of mind. But we also have the Ten of Swords. And this one is again confirmed. It was at the bottom of the deck just a few moments before, where I talked about, painful endings. Unless you're grounded, unless you stop spending too much time ruminating and feeling sad and feeling guilty and just looking at what didn't work out, you will continue to sabotage your own well-being. You need to transform the world. This is a cycle. You need to close it. You need to transform in order to get the good things in your life. Get the Ten of Pentacles. It's in you. It is your doing. Okay. What's the biggest block? What's the biggest block that's preventing the movement forward? The biggest block is not realizing the world. I cannot show this image, but I'm going to use my other deck. The biggest block is not seeing, not identifying the cycles, not identifying that you are lucky, that opportunities are all around you, and not realizing the death card again. Oh my God, how many times are your cards confirming themselves? Not realizing that you have to embrace the transformation, that you have to let go of aspects of your life that do not serve you. You must let go. Be willing. Be willing to let go. Any final message? Any final message for our viewers? Again, this is a timeless reading. Anytime the moon, on the moon, these fears are not real. You have to overcome. Do not fear. Do not fear. Oh my God, I just realized that a few hours ago I came across a reel on YouTube that spoke about how different religious texts across the world, across time, have had this one message that just kept coming up, and that was do not fear. And that's that's the energy that I'm receiving here. You are being told, do not fear. Do not fear. You have nothing to fear. You are the creator of your destiny. Focus on new horizons. Focus on things you have achieved in your life, things that have worked out. Focus on your truth, your authenticity. And spend time processing emotions instead of ruminating on what didn't work. I'm just going to get one final card if it wants to come out. Yep. Stop focusing on your heartbreak. That's not where you belong. That's not where you belong. You belong in the energy of manifestation, in the energy of the King of Swords, in the Page of Wands, King of Pentacles. The Chariot, keep moving forward with confidence and do not escape. Do not escape. This card, this is the third time I'm seeing this card just in the deck, the Five of Wands, conflict. Avoid your own internal conflict. Avoid escaping the hard work. And that's it. That's what I have for you today. You are the power. You are the creator. And do not fear. This is a timeless reading. You can come back to it anytime you feel this fear again or any kind of fear propping up. This could be your confirmation. This could be your reminder to stay positive, to stay optimistic, to realize your power. And again, this is a general reading. If it resonated with you, please like and comment. And if you think that this is a message that somebody in your surrounding, in your family, in your circle could benefit from, please share it with them. And I will see you in the next one. Do not fear. Take care.